Oh yeah.
Hello, Commanders. This is Midnight Command, and I want to welcome you to the WC Sideshow 29. With me is Jano, CM, or sorry, no, we don't have a CM with us tonight. We
Seeing
have
data.
Data. I'm sorry, it's been a long
Ooh.
day. We have Data with us. Data might become a CM one day. I don't know. We'll
No,
see.
no, 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 no.
Soviet Union. But anyway, we have a lot of topics to talk about tonight, so let's go ahead and get started with the Elite Unique Weekend, since this is the most current thing going on. Jana, would you like to start with that, since you've actually made some videos? Commanders, this is Midnight Command, and I want to welcome you to... Sorry, that was my fault again.
Feedback?
Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and start with the Elite Weekend.
Well, the Elite Weekend is actually really cool. I've helped out a couple of low levels on this weekend, and they've had really, the drop rate as what kicks I promised everybody it was times 10 or time 10% more chance. The guys that I helped out actually got units out of them, whether it was elite or not. It didn't make any difference because these guys are like extremely happy that they got any type of units anyway. So as for myself, I got all the elites now. I was only missing one, and Midnight got her elite as well, and she was missing one as well. So, Kickside did pay up on this one. I'm not sure. There's still people out there on the forums complaining about it, that they never got it. They never got anything, just medals, but I haven't got a clue on that side. Other than that, Elite Crusader, Elite Viper, Elite Spectre, Viper X, Crusader X, Widowmaker X, all were going to drop 10% more this last 3-4 days that's been going on. 10% more. Anyone that doesn't have any uniques, anyone that doesn't have any uniques would have had would have really had a high chance of getting something. So if you didn't take advantage of this weekend and the last 2 days, or even this last 24 hours, you're the one that's going to be, sorry for my language, hit out a lot. Data, would you like to go into more depth, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've hit a few of them. I haven't really had a lot of time to hit them. I got a late start in Shadow Ops, and I wanted to bang them out, and I'm in a war zone, so I really didn't have time to hit them. But the ones that I have hit have had a substantial bigger medal payout. I mean, previous Elite weekends I was getting 10 medals, 15 medals, but the 4 or 5 bases that I've hit, I got 200 medals, a couple rounds of 75, and a couple rounds of 50, which is pretty cool. I'd rather get something like that than nothing at all. But from what I'm seeing, a lot of people are pretty happy with it, and in my opinion, this is probably the most successful Elite weekend they've had yet.
On the Elite wise, anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I think someone managed to get the Crusader X, the Widowmaker X, the Viper X, and the Elite Spectre, all in this round. And I think they said they only hit like 30 Hellhound 45 bases.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that post. Yeah, he was lucky.
Yeah, that was a good weekend for him then.
Yeah.
30?
How many hit? 30
Hellhound bases he hit.
Not at all. How many?
He's gonna be upgrading for a long time.
He hit 5 Hellhound bases, and I got the fifth. I got the Elite Crusader on the 5th one.
It wasn't bad at all. There were some people I saw seeing that they hit like 30 of them and didn't get anything, but it is luck of the draw, but it does seem like a lot of people have gotten them. Some people.
Yeah.
What about you there, Soviet Union? What did you think? Or did you even give it a try?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. I've attacked over 15 bases, and guess what? I've gotten 15 medals almost each time. So I'm like, yeah, 10 times possibility in my boutique.
So when I was talking about it, how good it was at the back of my head, you were like trying to...
Bullshit. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
You
But
sound
I
like
do
me
have
for the
a...
past months.
Hey, I do have an arbiter though from my Latino show that he hit five Hellhounds 45s, and out of the five, he got the three elites just
Oh,
with five. And
Wow.
I'm like, damn boy.
He
So
stole
he got lucky.
he stole all your odds. That's what he stole.
No, so
Well, he's on a different sector. Shit, nobody's gotten almost anything on my sector, but well, it's all right. I'm not a big crybaby anyway, so that's fine. If I do get them, because I still got 21 hours and 29 minutes, then
yeah.
cool. If I don't get them, then that's too bad, but that's fine.
And
I
if
got
you're
the Viper X, and that's all that matters to me.
or
It's
if you haven't
awesome.
doing them, be sure to check out Jano's new video that he posted. It's the Hellhound 45. What is it with minimal license?
yeah.
Hmm.
Very
Tank.
helpful.
Yeah.
And what else did you use?
I used Elite Hellstorm, where people can use shock missiles.
Hmm.
So shock missiles ain't really that costly. If you didn't upgrade it to the thorium level, shock missiles are even better on non-thorium levels because obviously it's 20 odd minutes to build one and it costs no thorium to build it.
Right.
Awesome. Any other tip you would like to give out for this
No.
weekend?
Well, it's the weekend gone past now.
Well, yeah,
Almost.
but it's still considered on War Commander. We have the night, almost 24 hours. But anyway, let's move on.
I want to add real quick, I do like the fact that they extended it and made it longer. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was good detail out of them.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Especially for those that can't play on the weekends, because I know a lot of people do like work on weekends and don't have a chance to play, or they have their kids or something like that.
Yes.
So it gives them a chance to actually participate in it fully.
Yep.
Yeah, usually these are what, just 3 days, right? From Friday to Monday, and this was basically 5 days.
No, I think that all fell back to the whole delay in the event too, so everything kind of got pushed back a little bit. But it was still nice to see them extended. I thought that was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was
And
good.
we also now do that whole shadow ops. So I mean, people were also doing that because now
Mhm.
new prizes, which include the Hellstrom Commander, Elite Hercules, Reaper Drone Component, which is the Wraith Cannon, and then also the Elite Titan part, which we're all working hard for, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. Yes.
Weekly. We're working hard. Weekly.
What did
I
you?
wouldn't say
hard.
working hard. You know,
Well, I'm
how,
working.
there's nothing really hard in the for a high level player with the right equipment. There's nothing hard about them. For low level players that don't have the right equipment, there's still nothing hard about them because you can just go and hit 80 level 20 IS bases now. So
But you are all striving to get them, correct? So you want to make sure you get it each week, even though you do have
you got 2 weeks.
exactly that
You
you
got
can miss
yeah.
if you forget or just according to life you can't do it. So you do have those little extra buffers in place. But anyway,
I'll just say though, before
yeah,
you move on, I'll just say though, I hope, because it's gonna take 2 months since the news were first introduced about the Elite Titan. I hope that after the 2 months have gone by, the Elite Titan is still worth getting,
I agree.
because so much anti-air is happening around lately that I don't want to see the Elite Titan go, here you have it, and then poof, it's dead.
I agree,
So
but then again, maybe they're putting all this AA in now because it's going to be pretty impressive. So they're trying to get all the people prepared for it coming into the game. That's the other way to look at it, maybe.
I hope, but at the same time, I hope it's useful.
Yes.
So anyway, all right.
So, as far as prizes, did any of you guys get the prizes yet? Have you completed it?
I'll let you
Done
guys
the
go.
Shadow Ops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten the Hellstone Commander, but it's just level 1, so I haven't even tried to do much with it. I just produced it very cheap anyway, about 100K each.
Okay. And what is it to upgrade?
How much is it to upgrade?
Yeah, is it
It's-
costly like the Vanquisher Commander and take a lot of time? You want to go over that with us?
okay, well, I didn't get the Vanquisher Commander, but where's my, but the Hellstone Commander, to get it to level 2, um, takes about 4.5 million each, and then 750,000 thorium. and it takes 2 days, basically 2 days to upgrade it. It's not too expensive, but I'm sure it's gonna get as I keep going forward.
Yeah,
The
starting out
only
upgrade. It's time consuming on top of
yes,
all the new prizes we've been getting in the V6 time requiring prizes.
yes,
Data.
yes.
Unfortunately, I received the most useless unit out of the entire Shadow Ops. I got the Elite Trash Can.
You and me both.
I did.
Yeah, that
Unfortunately, I
sounds
got the Elite
funny, actually.
Hercules. Yeah.
A little
Yeah,
bit, actually.
I haven't built it to even take a look at it or anything. I've never been a big fan of them, but hey, for those players that use it and they love it, it's going to be something a little better. You're going to get a little more armor. You're going to get that 10% boost for the standstill. No, and I want to make this clear: the statistics that it says 20% range boost is not a stack from the old one. It's just a legitimate straight 20% additional range boost. So there is not an additional boost on it. It's just the same across the board.
It's what it already had prior to it becoming an elite.
Correct.
It already had the 20% boost on there. Obviously, the advertisement of the 20% boost that was made was just to make the elite
Look shiny.
make it look
shiny.
good.
Shiny.
Yeah.
20% boost.
I was a little disappointed. I was disappointed in it. Yeah. I was
Probably-
disappointed in it, in the concept of it a little bit. I mean, we know all the other elite units get a significant boost. Megas get a rate of fire, Gladiators shoot 2 targets, Humvees fire on the move. This thing, it gets 10% boost standing still.
Right.
It's still slow. It's still long repair time. To me, it really didn't get much of anything. It's just, I think it's a low to mid tier elite unit that those players will be successful with the mods that we have on it, and the ease of availability of all the not lost tech. I'm sorry, the words.
The schematics?
Yeah, the schematic parts, all the epic techs. I'm sorry, all the epic techs that are available through the gear and stuff. So I think it'll be pretty useful. A lot of players will be using it.
Here's a quick question.
Yeah, I guess some may use it. You just have to keep in mind, too, that the repair time is ridiculously long.
It is. Franco, you said you had a question?
Yeah, here's a quick question. On that detail where the Elite Hercules gets 10% extra when standing still, am I supposed to assume that the Elite Hercules can also shoot and move at some point?
You know what? That brings up a really good point, and this goes back to what we probably said a few weeks ago, is about the whole wording of things, and that's where I think some of the confusion comes in. Like you just said, that's pretty much the statement there is implying that it does shoot on the move, but it gets an added bonus when it's standing still. But we all know that's not the truth. It doesn't shoot on the move. So I think, like you said, that's the whole wording thing where they probably should have been a little clearer.
Okay. All right. That's what we were wondering Friday night. I was like, that's pretty much understood anyway. So we're going to do that then.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Now, I just have a question. Have you guys had any issues with the suicide tendencies, like with the mortar team sniper and suicide truck components? They say they now
They're
upgrade to
upgradable.
level 6.
Yeah,
Have
all
you used them at all?
To be honest, I thought I gave some consideration with the Elite Mortar team now to maybe give them the cryo shells. And I upgraded some of the stuff in it, but I never put them in. I never put them in, so I never really used them. I don't know. I'm contemplating it still.
Yeah, same here. I haven't tried leveling them up to level 6, but as useful as the mortars are actually, I'm actually thinking about doing the same because I do have a few mortars on my bunkers, and they do help.
Yeah, as far as the other units concerned, the sniper and stuff like that, I took snipers out of my bunkers. I don't use them anymore, and suicide trucks I never use, so I wouldn't be able to comment on them.
Yeah.
I do use the sniper sometimes at the beginning stages of the event. Like I put 4 of them. And I know Jana doesn't like them, but I think that they do help eliminate the infantry a lot faster. You have them in addition to the rest of your stuff just because they do have the range. I don't put them in my towers or bunkers. I actually put them out to the corners of my base. But, I mean, they don't care or anything. I just think speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. They do speed it up. I do the same thing. I'll put them back in for the event. Yeah, it speeds up those early waves. Snipers just bang them out.
Right, early waves. But after that, I just switch again.
Yeah,
Well, that's why you can just throw in some hover tanks in there, like 4 hover tanks from the corners of your bases, set them on aggressive, and as soon as that wave starts, the wave's pretty much over.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
True.
Yeah.
Mine were low level at that point. They're still upgrading.
Yeah, so am I. You and me were in the same boat. I think we shared almost an identical time frame on the hover tank upgrades. You and I are both on level, or going to level 9 now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out
Almost.
the money, get out the money, get out the greens, and start greening.
You know what? I'm thinking. I'm really seriously considering it. Just speeding up the rest of this upgrade just to bang it out so I can get it maxed out real quick.
That's why they're adding all these timed upgrades to thorium now. Because they put the coin time. But anyway, has anybody been looking into the gold situation? I know I've seen a lot of complaining about it, and people saying, "Oh no, there's an issue."
Oh no.
Yeah, you can no longer gift gold, and that is an intentional thing done by Kickside.
I'm gonna blame this on Midnight Command and whoever else that was creating challenges on forum and giving like 50 gold or 100 gold away. I reckon Kickside decided to stop all that purely because of these people giving free gold away to other players. That's just my theory.
I personally think that they should embrace that because they're getting, an additional $10 or so, here and there that normally wouldn't be bought for no apparent reason. I mean, hey, it's being given to somebody else.
You know what? I'm going to say a couple things real quick about it, and then that's it. I totally agree with what Kickside did. It's been getting to the point where it's been getting out of hand. We all know that people out there do unsavory things, and that can lead to, a moral dilemma between a lot of people. So I believe what they did was justified and right, and if you still want to give Facebook gold, then go out and do like I did a few months back on the Battle Vortex show, buy some Facebook gift cards, and if you want to gift your friend gold, then you get them on a PM, you send them the Facebook card numbers, and they can enter them in through their own account, and they can use them that way. And there's also PayPal. You can also use PayPal to give someone gold, but then again, you don't know if that person's going to use that for the specific game that you wanted to intend it for. I hope that Kickside does come up with an alternate way and a safe way to do it, but I don't know how that's going to happen. But I think it was a good move. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I was a little caught off guard at first. I didn't really think it through when I first saw it, so I was annoyed, I'm not going to lie. But if you do, think it through and look at the big picture, it really does make sense to a point.
Well, we just got one guy in the in the Twitch chat right now, Commander War. He turned around and said that he gifted a lot of gold out, and that got bad for him because people kept on asking him daily for gold. So this is the kind of thing that actually goes towards some players on this case because they're getting bugged to be gifted gold, and now you can't give it away. So happy days! All the gold is over for you.
Oh.
Awesome. But anyway, let's move on let's briefly discuss what we thought about this past event. Clearly, it was different from preview. They did make some changes. So, for me, that was a positive thing. It allowed me to actually play the event. What do you think, Jana?
I thought the event was, I don't know, it was okay somewhat. I mean, we've talked about this over and over again. There was a lot that we went into in some shows in the round table referencing the iron cannons and the radar buildings, It was just they overdid it, overstepped the mark, I believe. For me personally, especially for some mid-low level players out there, no way were they getting anywhere that high. I understand I understand low levels shouldn't be getting too high in the first place, but whatever. It is what it is.
That's true.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they just missed the mark a little bit. I think there was definitely some room for improvement if we're going to have. Well, no, it was Iron March and then Iron Rain, right? So Iron Rain was technically 2. Am I right in saying that?
Just recent one.
Okay, but that was considered Iron March 2, right?
Not really. It was different. I mean,
Was it a different faction?
Yeah, it was a brand new faction.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they molded for the 2, just kind of like we had Operation Crossfire a few months back. But yeah, if they're going to do an Iron March 2, I think there's room for improvement. I think they learned from their mistakes. I think they really took all the feedback really well, and I think there was a couple things that maybe they could have done a little differently towards the end, especially the 20,000 extra XP they gave to a lot of players that experienced a bunch of the waves resetting and things of that nature and stuff like that. So, like I said, I think they learned from their mistakes on that as well too. So.
Agreed. What do you think, Soviet?
Yeah, I agree. They could have done better. I agree with everything you said, and my actual conclusion of the event was they sucked. It was bugged like I've never seen a bug before. It was awful. But I mean, to people that was able to get far, I guess they thought it wasn't too hard after all. And then, of course, the people that were intermediate to low, like Jano said, they got nowhere. It was pretty unbalanced. It had too much technology at once, and that pretty much, proved that it was even too much for Kickside themselves. So my recommendation is, next time try to really, really plan your units, what you want to give out, what you want to introduce. Don't put too much on your plate if you can't chew it all at once, because they couldn't, just like we couldn't. And maybe they should start thinking about extending the difference between one event and the other. My opinion.
Extending the differences in how?
As in time, I mean, not monthly, but maybe every 2 months.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Something like that. So
Yeah,
there's
back to
better
the old school
preparation.
stuff. Yeah.
Weekends and all this other stuff going on. I agree. I mean, they have a lot.
It's too much. It's too much. People stress too much on upgrades. They stress too much on the new toy, trying to upgrade it, and then the next event comes in, and they barely even have time to play with it. Because they're worried about making sure that it's at least level 10 so they can use it for the next event. So where's the real fun in that? I don't really see it. Give it 2 months or old school, let us say 3 months, and that way people can enjoy the upgrades, they can enjoy the new toys, and they can get ready and they can get prepared a lot better for next event, just like I'm sure the programmers would.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, really, if you think about it, the new prizes is really the most effective the first month or two after it comes out.
Uh-huh.
Because then you add another event and you add new prizes, and there's the counter.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, if you did wait, 2 months, at least you would have more like 3 to 4 months that it would be an awesome prize because you would have it upgraded and so on, like you were saying. I think that's a great idea. And also another way to think of it would be, right now the Shadow Walks is going on for 10 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Why not do 10 weeks of Shadow Walks and then have 1 week where they do the event and no Shadow Ops. Kind of like they did originally. They did the 4 weeks of Shadow Ops, they did 1 week event, and they started the 10-week Shadow Ops. I mean, the Shadow Ops kind of takes the place of the event, and then you have, more time between them. I think, honestly, that would be a great way to incorporate it so you don't get bored of the game because you still have things going on each week, and you're not getting overwhelmed.
Who actually, out of us lot and anyone in Twitch chat, who actually believes that Kickside will make a 2-month events instead of monthly events.
Be truthful and honest.
Who believes?
Never
I
going to
don't
happen.
believe.
Never going to happen. Not as long as all of us walk, live, and breathe. Will they change that again? It's too much of a revenue booster. They make too much money off of monthly events.
Not if they keep doing events like this last one, because honestly, the prizes weren't worth it. They might make some money to a point, but if you keep repeating the same screw-up event, it's going to get to where no one's going to even want to play it.
Yeah, and like you said,
when you can shadow ops and get better prizes.
Absolutely, and just like you and Soviet said, with everything being so close and time frame, we all know that the cost of repairs and units are high. So if a lot of us are running Vanquishers, and they're to be frank, they're suicide units. So it's 6 hours to repair each one, each platoon. So I mean, if you go through a few waves, I mean, you're looking at a couple days of repair time, and you want to continue to play. So those units are going to die again. So you're constantly going to be in a state of long-term repair. So
Or
constantly coining, and a lot of us can't afford to do that. I mean, it's just the way the real world works. I think, like you guys said, a little space between everything will be good. A little heal, a little repair, a little use time, little upgrade time.
You can actually relax and breathe and not feel stressed out over a game.
Oh my God, I gotta hurry up and get home because I gotta do Shadow Ops. I have 17 hours left. I gotta hurry up and do it, and then I gotta do 45s, and then I start the event, and it's too much. It's a lot.
Sleep at some point.
Yeah,
Sleep?
Like what's that? Who sleeps?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Theo,
Yes, sir.
you're a pro at this, buddy. What's been going on the forums recently?
Oh man, forums were blowing up today. Hey, listen, I just want to start and make a formal apology to all the people on the forum today. I went a little overboard. I was trolling a whole lot of you people, and I'm sorry, but the excitement got to me. The excitement got to me. There was a lot of bands going out today, and there was a big hissy fit on the forum about a lot of things.
And Dave felt like he was Thor with the big hammer.
Oh, it was great, man. I did. I felt like I was this Marvel superhero, man. But like everybody, I have no power. I have no power to do anything. But I just thought it was great that the hammer was swinging today. But my biggest thing that I enjoyed so much about today is the new 36-hole golf course that Kixeye put in my sector. It's great. I've been wanting to work on my short game the whole time, so now there's a nice 36 holes or craters that I can practice my putting in. So I thought that was pretty cool. But there were some talks, I guess, of some people saying that they were falsely banned and things of that nature. And there was a report going around, and this wasn't official by Kixeye, that there was a hack that when you hit a hacker, the code transfers over to your game and your base, so that when Kixeye scans and checks accounts, your base would get flagged. I don't know if there's any truth to that. We have not heard an official statement, so we can't really say that it's fact. All we know is that Kixeye is currently running a round of bans, and if you're found to be exploiting a bug or glitch, if you're doing any kind of hacking or anything else, you're going to be banned. If you feel you're illegitimately banned, then send a reply in and appeal your ban. But there's really nothing anybody can do for you on the forum itself. You're not going to get official response.
Word of advice, if you come across a glitch or a bug or you notice something's off in your base, report it. I mean, you're not going to get yourself banned by reporting an issue you found. You're just protecting yourself.
Yes.
There's also a lot of players out there saying that my friend hasn't been on for a year. Actually, one of the statements came from Lost My Head. Even though they haven't been on for about a year, there's probably a high chance that they've used or come across a glitch in the game that was a bug and it was exploited in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
How can we define an exploit? Well, sometimes it's hard to figure out whether you're exploiting or not. And if you are exploiting and you do realize it, my big recommendation for all the players that do realize it is report it ASAP. Report it to the support, help center, whatever you want to call it, in Kixeye, and get that down there, get your ID jotted down so that Kixeye knows about the bug and knows that you've been hit by this bug and you've accidentally been exploiting it. At least this way, you've always got something to say, look, whatever it was, I'm banned, but I did report whatever I may have been banned for. To be honest with you, I've gone on too much about this ban thing and too much about the exploit. I don't normally go on about it, but just for little helping hands out there for the players that's been banned, just, just report your shit. Report the stuff that's going on.
Be detailed.
Don't just ignore it and say, oh, Kicks ain't going to fix nothing. Just because they ain't going to fix nothing, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be reporting it. Because at some point or another, it's going to hit you back and you're going to go, oh, I wish I'd reported it now.
You hit the nail on the head. If you report it detailed, Kixeye will be made aware of it, and the change will be made. If not enough people report it, and it's not considered an issue, then it'll never get fixed. So like Jano said, we probably have gone on a little too long about this, but be detailed, send in reports.
Yeah, reports. Reports.
All right. We're going to do a quick question and answer done by CM Sulaco. I guess he went through, got a bunch of questions from players and so on the forum, and put together a question and answer batch that consists of 2 batches so far. So I'm just going to quickly read through them, and hopefully you'll learn something. Okay, first off, we have, why did you introduce the AA plasma turret? And then options for anti-air base defense or simply too limited. Targeted air and neither offer significant threat to modern air units. That means all players are forced to use anti-air bunkers. Making better anti-air turrets gives more choice when configuring their defenses. And they have introduced several anti-ground turrets, I mean, since this game started or whatever, that are fairly new in comparison to AA turrets. I mean, the only AA turret they've really had is the flak turret, and that's been out since I started the game, which was quite a while ago. So it was time.
The rocket barrage is really good as well, because a lot of players used to like to use elite Hellfires. Ever since the rocket barrage had been in place, not a lot of players have been able to use rocket barrage because they do dramatic damage to them. Obviously, at the same time, if you're taking your laser against like almost a full base of plasma, but that base has 4 rocket barrage, you can almost instantly say, nah, I'm not going to go and hit that base, just purely because it's got 1 rocket barrage in 4 corners of that base.
So that turret has been taken out of the game, technically.
It has.
It's no longer available for new players.
It's not alright, correct, yeah.
Now, there is the plasma cannon, which is kind of similar, but it's another option in its place. And that one is actually pretty new. That's one of the newest ones out, I think, that's ground.
Yeah, the plasma one, yeah.
Except for the
napalm.
Napalm. And yeah, the napalm pretty much negates any use of the rocket barrage turret, because you could bait the rocket barrage with Colossus or ground, or a ground troop and still get away with using your lasers, but with the napalm you really can't do that anymore.
Bear in mind with the new AI as well, if you end up splashing certain units from a distance and they don't press the D button, those units will instantly move towards that rocket barrage, which is good. So once again, there's a big advantage for the rocket barrage users out there, because you're actually drawing or baiting their units in if they've made the mistake of not pressing the D button.
Another question is, why not make all upcoming units to be upgraded with thorium rather than normal resources? The answer is, units that we have require thorium to upgrade, at least for later or latter levels. And that's true, and they also require time. So look at that, you get both. Anyway, next one. Why was a range change was made to turrets, but not with B6 units? Answer is, offensive and defensive power had failed far out, or have fallen, no idea what he's saying there, far out of proportion end-of-game squad, the ones that will realistically be going up against level 8 turrets are a lot more powerful than they were in a year ago. Giving base defenses a little more range helps even out this power gap.
Which I fully agree on. The units now that we have, being customizable, are 10 times stronger than what units were a year ago. So and the turret platform within themselves cannot be customized, so you can't specifically say, right, I want to put extra armor on my turret against ground units or against air units. Whereas you can actually put that armor onto your tanks and say, I want to take less damage from turrets or take less damage from units. So this day and age, the extra range that you're getting on your turrets do make sense over not getting range on your units, because your units have got more health and more DPS, which means that all they need to do now is be able to get close enough to take out that turret as quickly as possible.
Yeah. We still have a lot of units that don't have the customizations. I mean, look at the Enforcer for one. I mean, there's no armor to put on that, and that thing can be squatted pretty easily. I know no one's used the Enforcer in quite a while, at least that I've seen, but just for an example.
Yeah, but we're still waiting for the customization for that to come in.
Yeah.
Once the customization comes in for that,
I think it's going to get a range boost too, because doesn't it have the lowest range of all tanks as well?
Lowest range of all tanks.
And it does have some serious power, though, some serious stopping power.
Yeah, that's
but
the
it's
reason.
got to get there before it can use the power.
But that's where I agree with Jano, though. I do have to agree with Jano totally on that one. He's right. I mean, if we were to get, say, a range boost on the Hellfire, it would go back to everybody using Hellfires to bubble a base, or using 1 tune of Hellfires to walk 10 bases like we all used to. Given the turrets a little more, I think it kind of balanced it out, because all the units got schematics and the base defense doesn't. So I tend to agree with Jano on that one as well.
Okay. Well, another question. I am doing the Shadow Ops phases to get the Elite Titan. Will there be any more new units, including already existing units, offered in future phases? And also, will the prizes in tiers 1 or 2 ever be switched out? Answer: absolutely. The Shadow Ops long-term prizes are proving to be very popular, and you can expect more to follow. Question: why was the Tactical Peacekeeper Banshee missile advertised as being targeted by anti-air and is now considered to be just a bug? Can we have this feature back? Answer: no. This really was a bug, and the communication around it was also a mistake. The Banshee is far too powerful with this unintended functionality. And statement.
To be honest with you, I do not know where people have seen this description that the Banshee missiles were targetable. I've never ever seen that description, and as soon as I seen
because it doesn't exist. It never did.
There you go. There you go.
It never existed. It was a bug, and Sulaco admitted to it on BV one Wednesday night. It was a bug. It was never intended to be that way, and when it was fixed, it was better for everybody.
Being confused with is player-made posts, because there were a lot of videos of posts made about it being targeted when it was first started being used.
I think the big thing was
so
the wording.
Not Kickstarter.
Yeah. It was the wording again. They act as if they're rockets by shooting fast, and just like other units that we have that have rockets, and they aren't targetable, but they were called missiles, and we all know missiles as being targetable. So that's where, again, the whole wording thing comes into play.
Yes, I agree. I think I strongly agree that they should have known it's not missiles, because everybody. So why call something that doesn't get targeted and gets shot fairly quickly be called a missile?
Soviet, Ash or Midnight, do you keep fading out? Soviet, do you hear that too, or is it just me?
Yeah, I
you
thought
keep
it was my
fading out.
connection.
Yeah, I thought it was
Okay.
mine too, but I lowered it and checked it. Your mic keeps fading out mid-sentence.
I'll try to talk louder.
No,
Maybe
I
I'm turning
doubt it
away
was
for
there.
now.
Maybe.
All right.
50, okay.
Sorry.
How many more units should we expect to be nerfed? Would it be possible to be warned ahead of time when Kixeye plans to nerf our units that are having a hard time working on and upgrading, that we're having a hard time with? Solaka put, I'm guessing you're referring to the BFG. We've shared the explanation to that. This is a bug fix and not a nerf to other threats. The total damage that the BFG projectile does remains the same as at release. And we've talked about that a lot in the show, so I don't think we really need to go into detail about that. Why have 2-year-old bugs, glitches not been fixed? Let's talk about the specific issue rather than the vague stuff like this. If you're unhappy about some problem in War Commander, I'm willing to talk about it and share it if and when there's a fix for that issue coming. So if you want to post a question, be sure you're specific so it can be answered properly. Okay. Why are older units rebalanced or remade as elites? There are almost 60 different units in War Commander. We want a fun and diverse subset of them to be relevant to advanced Elder game players. We also don't want to make an elite for every unit at once. The goal is a fun and slowly changing game environment where the best units are slowly evolving based on buffs from us. Okay, remember the previous one? But anyway, an emergency behavior from you folks. All the leads to gradually release elites and other upgrades at the best path. Be sure to voice when you want something to be elite or upgraded, made better.
That's funny. That's an ironic statement. I'm sorry.
It is. But anyway, will old units that do not have schematics ever be updated with schematics? The shortest answer is yes. Similar to the previous question, the main goals are those listed above, a fun and diverse subset of units that comprise the Elder Gamer, or the Elder Game. We will
Elder.
Units, yeah, elite skins, schematics, and VU on a schedule that promotes a gradual evolution of the entire set of units, both those used for offense and those used for primary for base defense. Well, that was interesting. It did, give us kind of a idea of where the game's going. Will you be creating level 30 and 35 bases for Shadow Ops? We have specific plans for those kinds of bases.
Why would you need a level 30 and 35 bases?
I don't know.
It just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. You've got easy base, you've got super easy base.
Well, I think the argument for this one was people were complaining because they weren't strong enough to hit the 45s without taking significant loss, and they were too high of a level so that when they took the 20s, they got nothing out of it. They get no res. You get no res. If you're at a high level, you get no res. You get crappy Shadow Ops. Occasionally, you get like a brown one or something half decent. Usually get like those silver crappy ones, and you get no res. So you get no benefit from hitting 80 level 20s. So
you just need to get better spec ops, I think, from the 30 and 35s, to be honest.
Well, no, but I mean, but compared to a 45, that's why I think they were looking for either a 30 or a 35, a low, mid, and high level.
Ain't the idea of the Iron Strike bases for Shadow Ops? Not for resource, not for spec ops drops. Obviously, if you're strong enough to get all that resource and the bonus, the special ops, then go and hit a 45. But if you're not strong enough, then your main aim is just to get the component, the tech, the unit from the Shadow Ops. You don't, you don't need to go and hit a 35 for for the shadow ops, and you don't need to go and hit at 30 for the shadow ops. Purely because if you wanted to do that, you just go and hit a normal 30 or 35 rogue for the special ops. But if you're looking for a special unit like the Elite Titan or the text, the epic text that it drops, or the epic units that it's dropping, then go ahead and hit the level 20 Iron Strike bases, or the level 40 Iron Strike bases. 45, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't start asking Kixeye to give you more rogue bases to hit, because you know what that's going to happen, don't you? That's just going to end up having loads of lag on the world map. And then you're going to be complaining, saying, you've got the Iron Strike bases, you've got the normal rogue bases, you've got the Hellhound bases, you've got the Sickle Syndicate bases, and then you got the normal depot, and then you got the normal thorium depot, and then all that, and then you got other players on the world map moving around. Come
Mountains.
on.
Yeah, it'll be that, or it'll be like, I can't find a Hellhound 45. Where's all the Hellhound 45s at? Or the AC 45s at? Well, something had to give somewhere.
Yeah.
You had to get rid of something to make room for something else.
I think Kixeye balanced it out with the bases.
This is like an event. It's not supposed to be easy. It's a weekly
I'm sorry, but it is easy.
thing. Well,
but you know what I mean, though? The average player's not Jano, the average player's not Midnight Command, and the average player's not Soviet, and the average player's not me. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. We've been playing.
An average player.
Not every player. Listen, not every player has been playing the game since almost the beginning, like the four of us, and half of the other people that are involved and give advice and things like that. But you know what I mean? That they all can't do that. Not everybody's brain thinks the same way. Everybody plays games differently.
Also, with all the new updates and upgrades and stuff, people are hitting level 35s before they ever did in the past. I mean, they are upgrading a lot faster, or leveling up a lot faster. So that does add to the challenge a little bit. Maybe you should be a little more conscious about your upgrades. Stop upgrading your base and start upgrading your units.
Yep.
Amen.
What else we got? What else do we have for this AMA? We have anything else good?
I like this next one. Will buildings ever get force fields? It makes me laugh. I'm sorry.
What was that?
Will buildings ever get force fields? Repeat. All right.
It's called a bubble.
I want to protect my Goku car.
It's called a bubble.
All the pretty
You like to be protected, then get domed 100% and sit in.
All over your base.
There you go.
Yep.
But anyway, it is very likely, but not on the immediate horizon.
We've already got it, guys and girls. Why are you asking Kixeye to bring in the force field on our buildings? We've already got it. Get someone to 50% your base, and you got an instant force field around your base. It even looks like a force field from the outside. Jesus. Seriously?
They want a bubble inside a bubble.
They're going to start possibly at some point doing fields around buildings, I guess.
Maybe Kixeye was trying to hint on the answer.
They want what like other stupid games have. They want to be able to buy a bubble. They want to buy a bubble. I want to buy my protection. I want to live in a bubble.
Nah.
Play the game my way.
Does say it is likely, but not immediately. So don't brace yourself anytime soon. Anyway, is there a good chance we will get to see Hellfire and the Razor as siege units getting a range boost? Range boosts to those units are unlikely. If it's right for fun gameplay, we'll certainly consider it. But I challenge the assertion that endless streams of free, no-risk damage are fun gameplay. Now, I remember way back when we were told Plasma, Rocket Barrage, Mortar, I think there was another one, that would never be outranged. So those turrets. But now that the turrets have more range, why would you not add more range to the units? They still won't outrange the turrets. But anyway, let's move on. Can the unit for low to mid-level players. Guess what? There's tons of units you don't have yet because you're a low mid-range player. Go get them. They'll be new to you. Sorry, but that's the truth. What's your else?
Straight up, do one of the weekly missions, do the shadow ops, do all this and that. There's constant things you can be doing on the map to be earning tech and parts.
Mega tanks, challenges,
Yep.
elite
Warhawks.
and elite warhawks. You know, you get all the mini challenges.
Yep.
Plus
Colossus,
you can
Behemoth.
sickle syndicate 25s. That gives you hover tanks,
Tank.
Halcyon, FAVs. You know,
And Kixeye response to it was, the hover tank is that unit. It's reasonably easy to secure through Tier 2 Shadow Ops prizes and very effective for its resource costs. And that is correct. And they're also, offering the packs again. So, there you go.
Booyah.
What is the official plan to cap upgrades so players can enjoy endgame items while also getting the ability to upgrade both new and old tech? There is no plan to cap upgrades, nor
Lost you. We lost you.
Gone.
is cap
And back and gone.
I'm going.
increase the rate of advancement through level 20 to 30
Midnight.
rate of unit player level
Completely.
35 and above.
Something is wrong with your microphone.
Oh,
Yes.
you hear me? What
It-
type?
We heard like 6 letters.
Oh dear.
5 vowels and 1 consonant.
Yes.
The answer. There is no plan to cap upgrades, nor have we claimed there would be. However, I think a lot of what you're wanting is captured by 2 of our existing goals. Increase the rate of advancement through levels 20 to 35 and slow the rate of unit churn for players level 35 and above. Okay, if you're going to slow the rate that we change out our new units or whatnot, then you need to slow the rate that you put out these units, or what's the point of getting them? Sorry, that's my take on it. What's y'all's opinion? I'm sure we all have opinions on this one. Daddy, you want to start?
Yeah, the opening statement made the whole statement, and the rest of it was unneeded. There's no plan to cap levels. There's no plan to cap advancement. So,
What about the increase the rate of advancement through levels 20 to 35 and slow the rate of unit churn for players level 35 and above?
I don't actually classify it in levels. I classify it more as long-term players. There's just players that have, just like any other game of anything that's like this, there's always something that comes out in the beginning that if you're not a part of it, you'll never get it again. So,
guys, in the Twitch chat, I'm going to stop typing here because when I'm typing, I end up muting the midnight.
yes.
Oh, okay. That's what the problem was.
All right. Anyway, is anything being done to reduce the amount of lag, flash crash, and DCs? I heard something about a new battle server. Is that related? The team is constantly working to optimize the client and stamp out specific problems. If you have a specific repro case, I'll gladly pass it to them. So they're working on it all the time. Be sure to just let them know what the issue is.
Mhm.
What is the fate of the epic texts that were Waves prizes? Will they ever be made available again? Most, perhaps all, will be available again in some way. We were thinking yesterday that they could make good Shadow Ops prizes. Question: will there be a range increase to our units? We already went over that. Is there any plan to adjust drone silo AI? Not currently. There's the specific behavior that you don't like, or what's the specific behavior that you don't like? So be sure to let Kixeye know if you don't like something about the drone silo. Is there any plan to release a new CC level with more platforms? Answer: The first easy question. Yes.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Of course.
Of course there
Always
is.
adding on.
Of course they're going to add a new level to the CC and add more platforms and probably, well, add more levels to the platform upgrades itself.
Everything's going to add. I mean,
Every-
building upgrades, everything.
Yeah, everything will eventually be a level 10 at some point or another.
And go beyond that. I mean, look
Or
at
15.
5 buildings already. But anyway, or not V5, I don't know what they call them now, but they go up 5 beyond. Is there any plan to adjust drones? Oh, we already did that one. Let's skip down to a new one. Are there any plans to reverse the changes of the range of defense towers? We already went over that. No, it's intentional. Are there any plans to release more technology into the gear shop? Absolutely. What would you like to see? Clearly, Kixeye wants to know what we want in the gear shop. Be sure to voice your opinion. It's another great way to do it. Add it onto there's a list. What's it called? You want to go over it? I don't know the forums as well as you. The
wish list.
Wish
Or
list,
it's
or-
actually future features and feedback on the forums now.
So go on there and post what you want to see in the game, what changes, what new stuff or additions or whatnot. Are there any plans to release Vital High Wave Event Unlock Lost Tech into the gear shop or any other place? We already discussed that. Possibly Shadow Ops. It's a good way to, or good place to look for it. Question batch 2. The last we heard there were no plans for a base planner in the works. Has that changed? There are no plans for base planner. I'd love to have this feature, but the development cost is staggering. I'd really, really like to promise you that we'll build this soon, but honestly, I don't see it. We always talk about this as a great thing. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, I think we should cut it off there because we're almost at our time limit.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll save this second batch for the next show, so stay tuned to hear our opinions along with others on this great topic.
Sorry for the guys and for the guys that's been listening to Midnight Command's voice here, but I'm gonna have to cut it off.
Good luck, Commanders. Oh, wait, does anybody else have anything they want to say before we go? Dad, I want to give you a chance to speak along with you, Soviet, but Dad, go first.
I'm good.
You good? All right.
Yeah.
Soviet, anything you'd like to add? Tell him-
Just a quick note on the questions. I don't think you said it, but for people that are wondering about the bunkers, they are in the ideas to get an update. So I don't know if you mentioned that, but people are wondering about the bunker updates, and they are supposed to come sometime soon, according to this question and answer.
Yep.
But not as quick as people might hope. But they are in the works, so expect
There,
them soon.
yeah, that's good. We've got something to add to our already added defenses.
Mhm.
Anna, you have anything?
No, you did great. Awesome.
Good luck, Commanders, and happy hunting.